Hi everyone, this is Steve and welcome back to another episode of SJ Woodworks. We're here at the lathe again. Today we're going to do another project using carbide lathe tools. Today's project is going to be a little bowl made out of lemon wood. I've got this half log of lemon wood. Interestingly, lemon wood isn't actually the wood from a lemon tree. I'm guessing they call it lemon wood because it is a little bit yellowish in color. We'll see how it comes out when we make this bowl. I've never used this wood before, and we're going to cut this to a square shape here so we can make just a small bowl, and we'll see how it comes out, and hopefully we'll have some scraps left over for some other projects later. But let's see how this goes. We're going to take this to the bandsaw and then chuck it up on a screw chuck on the lathe and go for it, making a small bowl using carbide tools. Okay, just a reminder here, always wear eye protection and a face shield when you're turning, and follow all of your shop tools instruction manuals and safety guidelines. And if you see me doing anything that you don't think is safe, then don't do it. And just make sure you stay safe while you're working. Here at the lathe, we've got our lemon wood cut into shape here. Just knock the corners off to make that part a little bit faster. I don't have any, nice round templates to cut everything perfectly round to speed up the roughing process, so I just knock off the corners. It'll be alright. We're going to screw this right onto the woodworm screw. Lock the spindle and screw this right in. Feels nice and tight, so it's going to be good and secure. This is going to be a pretty small bowl. I think we're going to probably use the small jaws on the chuck in expansion mode, so it means we're going to need to round this out, shape the outside of the bowl, and cut a recess that's maybe 1 1/8 in diameter is all, to keep the base from getting too big, so we can get a nice shape on the bowl even though it's really small. Okay, the tool we're going to be using today is called the Simple Rougher. It's from Harrison Specialty Tools. And I'll show you more about this later, but we're going to use this square carbide cutter to rough this up, make it nice and round, and shape the outside of our bowl, and even to dig into our recess a little bit. Though I'll use a skew chisel to cut the dovetail for the jaws. So here we go. Okay, we have just a little ways to go to finish just roughing out the outside before we do some final shaping on the outside here. But I want to go ahead and mark for my recess for the jaw. Now I'm looking for a recess that's probably about 1 1/8 in diameter, and I'm just going to guess here a little bit, so it'll be alright. Just has to be kind of close enough. If I can pencil to leave a mark. There we go. Let's see how that came out. Now that's pretty good. It's about 1.25 inches, a little bit bigger than we're shooting for, so we'll just shoot to go just inside of that line. Let's finish roughing it out, then we'll cut the dovetail. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see this while I work on the recess here, but I'm just going to position the tool rest kind of where you normally would for using any other tool for this. I'm a little high here. I want to make sure that I'm hitting right on the center. I'm going to bring the tool rest down just a little. Just a little more. That should do it. Here we go. Okay, this tool's a little bit different than the ones we've been looking at before. The other ones were flat carbide bits, flat on the top, and this one's got a little bit of a cupped lip here, so it kind of does a little more of a shear cutting action rather than just scraping. So it'll help us get rid of this end grain as we go around. The deal with this one though, it can be pretty aggressive and pretty catchy, so you want to take it at an angle, take it nice and light and slow as we go around to get the good finish that we're looking for. If I try and go just straight in with this cutter, I'm going to get a pretty bad catch. So this one takes some getting used to. Okay, we finished sanding off the back here, and I've turned it around and chucked it up on my chuck with some 1-inch jaws in the dovetail recess. And we're going to start working on the inside now. And if I were going to do a friction polish like sometimes I do, we would have gone through the finishing stage on the outside. But I think this one's just going to get a simple Danish oil finish, and so we'll just leave it nice and smooth on the outside for now. And when we're all done, we'll do the finish off the lathe. For the hollowing phase, I'm going to use a round carbide cutter. This is the simple turner and hollower from Harrison Specialties again. And as usual, I'll set the tool rest so that I'm hitting right about center. I think I'm a little low right now. Let's raise it up just a little. The reason for having it right on center is so you don't leave that little nub right in the middle when you're doing your hollowing. You know, we don't want to be able to feel the center point with our fingers when we're done. Alright, let's turn it on and kind of face off the outside here and start hollowing. It's nice to have your lathe in forward. Okay, I think lately I've been really good at putting a hole in the bottom of my bowls when I make them, so I think we're going to stop here as far as depth. I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit more careful than I need to be, but we're going to switch back to this cutting carbide tool to give us a smooth finish again like we did on the outside, and then we'll move to sanding. Okay, here we are with the finished bowl. I think that the battery may have died at the end. We might not have seen the very last bit of the sanding or a little bit of putting on the finish, but I've got 3 coats of Danish oil on here. I think that'll be enough. After a couple of days I might, buff it out. But it looks great. I'll put up a couple of still pictures at the end, and I think it came out really well. I did want to say just 1 or 2 words about the carbide tools. So here's a kind of a big picture view of the tools we're using. This is the shear cutter that we use to get a good finish on things. And this is the handle that it's in. This is interchangeable, so I only have 1 handle. I switch the tools out. There are a couple of set screws here. At some point I may get more handles just to save myself from having to switch out the tools. But yeah, here's the shear scraper one. Here's the turner and hollower one, just the round tip carbide. This is what it looks like without the handle. Just pops right in here, everything's interchangeable. Again, these are from Harrison Specialties, and I'll put a link down in the show notes for these. But I did want to say just 1 word about carbide tools and the purpose of this channel. So my purpose here is not to say that carbide is better than traditional bowl gouges and spindle gouges and other traditional lathe tools. In fact, the kind of dance that you get to do when you're using a regular bowl gouge on the inside of a bowl, getting that transition from the side to the bottom, there's really nothing that beats that, and I don't think that people should focus on carbide tools and not use anything else. I've got a whole drawer full of traditional gouges and everything also that I use. But like I said before, there are a lot of people out there on YouTube doing videos with those gouges, and I'm not better than them. I have nothing to show that they can't show better than I do. So I'm just trying to show the carbide tools, show that they are versatile and they do have a place, and you can use them for just about everything. So that's what I'm going for here. I'm not really trying to say that one way is better than another. I'm just showing another way of doing things. And as woodworkers and woodturners, I think we all agree that everybody develops their own way and thinks what the best way is for them. So here's just one more way. So thanks for joining me today, and if you like this video, go ahead and click on the like button and subscribe if you want to, and so you don't miss any more videos. And I hope that we can keep going for a long time with this. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave a comment here on this video and I'll definitely respond. Thanks.